Hello again, my name's Hannah, also known as Verve. I do tutorials on basic cosplay, talk a little bit about some information that you should probably know starting out. And today, we will be talking about colored contacts. It seems to be an area where people have only their own stories, but not a lot of actual information or facts behind it. So first off, my summer job is working with some of the top eye doctors in the area that I live in. I've seen everything from chicken blood to retinal detachments, and many of these people have contact lenses. So already I know the basics, so I'm not just some random person who says, oh, it worked for me. No, I've seen some things. So, what we're first going to talk about, if you're lucky enough that you don't need glasses, which you're the opposite of me, because I'm pretty close to being blind, congratulations! You can buy any color you've ever wanted. If you do have eyes that are medium to really bad, then we're in the same boat. And I'll tell you a little bit about what you need to worry about and what you need to know. First off, talk to your eye doctor first. A lot of people skip this step. Couple things you need to know. Eyeglasses prescription does not equal contact lens prescription. They are different. They might be similar, but they're different. So you might not be getting the best vision that you can. Also, astigmatism is something that happens on the eye where it's not perfectly round shaped, which this is fantastic because I can totally make my hands perfectly round, but it's more angled. It's steeper, flatter, mostly steeper. It's more of an oval shape. When you actually look at the surface of the eye using topography machines, very much similar to when you look at landscape, looking at elevation where higher's red and lower's blue or green. A normal eye has the same blue-green curve with a little bit more yellow in the middle because that's where it raises up. For someone with an astigmatism, there's usually a bright bow tie shaped with one above the iris and one below the iris, usually opposites. They'll rotate around, and that causes irritation when you wear contacts, because regular contacts without astigmatism are built to sit on that perfectly domed surface. If you have astigmatism, more football shaped, you run risk of irritation and some other problems. They make special astigmatism contact lenses. These have a variety of methods. The one I'm familiar with is where they're weighted at the bottom to make sure that it stays in the right position on your eye. Because when you blink, your contacts will always shift. You have an astigmatism, it can rub that. I've seen people who come in who have scratched their eyes because they've been trying to get away with regular contacts because they're cheaper. We've seen people where their eye gets inflamed from just the rubbing of the contact on it, and a lot of that comes from astigmatism and not wearing the correct contact lenses. So what that comes to is there's a couple issues, including dry eyes, a couple other things, that you should know about that you might not necessarily know on your own, but your eye doctor will. So before you even start thinking about buying contacts online, make sure you talk to your eye doctor, get all the information you can, and make an informed decision. Most cosplay contacts do not come with an astigmatism option. I would say, from my own personal opinion, this is mine, because you're wearing cosplay lenses, if you have a lower astigmatism, like maybe a plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2 lower, the closer to 0, the better. I would not wear cosplay contacts very long above astigmatism plus 2. Now I'm going to explain that a little bit more. When you have your prescription, this is what it will actually look like. Beautifully done. I know, very professional. When you, most people without astigmatism don't have the second part. If you do not have an astigmatism, this is what you'll only see, a plus or minus number. A minus 3.2 is a little bit worse, where you will want contacts with prescription. So that's pretty medium. You'll definitely be wearing glasses. If you have astigmatism, you will have additional numbers. These numbers basically talk about, what kind of curve you need. And this is the angle of which the astigmatism lies in your eye. When you're trying to purchase contact lenses, this last one won't matter at all, but I still put it on here so you know what it is. So if you have the second number, that one, yeah, that means you probably have an astigmatism. Now, a lot of people have an astigmatism. I have a light astigmatism. But if it's usually under 1 in either direction, the doctors will let you wear normal contact lenses because they're cheaper and you might not need them. However, the higher this number, I can't do this whole finger looking at the camera opposite thing. If this is higher than 2 or lower than -2, you might want to be very careful about your contact lenses. So, with this being said, some cosplay websites, or various websites, I know there's one called Pinky Paradise. I prefer one called the Dolly Eye, like a baby doll, the Dolly Eye. Mostly because their prices are good, and they're known to sell safe contact lenses. A major issue are contact lenses that are cosplay aren't really produced in the United States. There's various FDA things. Well, that's the Food Drug Administration. There's certain restrictions. So most cosplay contacts are imported, which means you might get a very reputable Korean seller, or maybe a not so much one, really cheaply made. It really varies, but I know Pinky Paradise and I know the Dolly Eye have had good reputations. And there's a couple other ones out there. But be careful where you buy from. The big thing that can happen is if the contact lens itself is expired, always check the expiration date, and make sure you soak your contact lenses 8 to 24 hours before you buy them. That's just good contact care. But also, when you have foreign contacts, doing that will see if any of the color will actually bleed out of the lenses, which sounds really, really cheap, but it does happen. And if you don't do that and you put it right in your eye, then you have, dye in your eye, which is not fun, and sometimes chemicals like that can actually burn. So what I'm going to do is show you one of mine. It's called the Dolly Eye. It's in its nice little case. There's several types of contact lens cases. I have really shitty eyes, so I'll be talking to you a little bit about that. But I have one contact called the Dolly Eye in purple. I use it for my Twilight Sparkle. It has a wider diameter to give you that Dolly Eye look, hence the name, theDollyEye.com. And I've gotten pretty good with these. So, what you need to know pretty much about the safety. Remember your astigmatism. If it's higher or lower than that 2, or higher than +2, lower than -2, be very careful with how long you wear your contacts, how often you wear your contacts, and how you prepare to wear the contacts. This is just the basic case. You can do these. Lots of people use these. Now, not only am I blessed with horrendous eyes, they're also dry eyes. This makes it fun. So I use a hydrogen peroxide. This is like the Walmart Equate brand. Hydrogen peroxide cleaning and disinfecting lens care system. This pretty much means I get this really nifty chamber that you put your contacts in. It's hydrogen peroxide. This little disc makes bubbles that attach to the contact lenses. So when you put your contact lenses in right away, it won't burn your eyes out. Red tip for a reason. If it has a red tip, that means you don't put it right in your eyes. Basic health hint. But if you have dry eyes for contacts, I definitely would get one of these systems. They're really, really nice. It might burn a little bit when you first put it in, so have some regular lens care cleaner just to wipe it off, get that extra hydrogen peroxide off. The next thing is a lot of people don't really know how to put their contact lenses in, even though, you have to go through training. Also, if you've never worn contact lenses before and this is your first time, go to the eye doctor first, because they will teach you how to put them in and take them out. Most people can get them in okay. It's getting them out that's the problem. Make sure you talk to your eye doctor and get the training. But still, a lot of people don't know this tip. To make sure your contacts are actually being soaked, put a little bit of solution in, and then the contact, and then more solution. And the reason we do solution, contact, solution is because if it's just contact and then all solution, that contact's going to stick on the bottom, and one side's not going to get hit by solution. If you do all solution and then contact, well, your contact's like a little boat. It's going to sit on the top, and it's not going to get soaked, and you're going to be mad. So, pretty much overall, if you really need a prescription for astigmatism, do it on your own. But be careful. It's your own risk. Because it's cosplay, you probably won't be wearing these contacts for more than a day. It's up to you. There is a potential for irritation. Obviously, don't sleep in them. Like, that's a big no-no. There is a potential for irritation. And just being informed, knowing that maybe you're in that risk zone, might alter that. But just be careful with your contacts. Astigmatism does count. Be careful with your prescription. And just make sure you know that what your actual contact prescription is. So if you have any more questions, feel free to hit me up, send me a message, post comments. You can find me on my DeviantArt page. My name's Verve. And hopefully I was able to help you out. Have a good one.